Curriculum Overview from Kara Kuehl, the Gifted and Talented Coordinator for Grand Island Public Schools. Grand Island Senior High has begun the transition from a traditional high school model to an academy model. Academies are small schools within a school designed to prepare students for their college or career options after high school. There will be 6 academies in the Academies of Grand Island Senior High, and each academy will feature several pathways that allow students to personalize their learning experience. During the 2018-2019 school year, the Academy of Freshman Exploration was launched. In fall 2019, all academies of Grand Island Senior High will be in operation. As Grand Island Senior High makes the transition to the academy model, interdisciplinary, project-based learning will be adopted. Interdisciplinary teaching focuses on building connections between content areas and deepens the learning experience as students apply knowledge gained in one discipline to another. Project-based learning involves students in authentic assessments that require choice, analytical and conceptual thought, the use of technology and creativity, and greater collaboration among students. 2 curriculum models were adapted in order to develop rigorous, standards-based interdisciplinary thematic units that will engage students in critical thinking and academic dialogue. Dr. Sandra Kaplan designed the GRID, later identified as the Depth and Complexity Model, a framework for planning differentiated curriculum by modifying standards-based curriculum for gifted students. Kaplan's model organizes the curriculum components of content, process, and product with a focus on depth and complexity. To focus the learner, the depth and complexity model includes 11 prompts or thinking tools: language of the disciplines, details, patterns, big ideas, unanswered questions, rules, trends, ethics, changes over time, across the disciplines, and multiple perspectives. Each tool is represented by an icon that serves as a prompt and encourages students to approach content from the point of view of an expert. Content imperatives are another component of the depth and complexity model that provide a way to differentiate curriculum and increase complexity for gifted learners. The content imperatives are an additional layer of thinking tools that can be used to facilitate analysis. There are 5 content imperatives: origin, paradox, parallel, convergence, contribution. And like depth and complexity, each content imperative has a corresponding icon. The integrated curriculum model was developed by Joyce Van Tassel-Bosca to meet the needs of gifted learners through 3 interrelated dimensions: the advanced content dimension, the process product dimension, and the issues themes dimension that address 3 unique characteristics of gifted learners: precocity, intensity, and complexity. The advanced content dimension ensures that ongoing assessment is used to adjust classroom instruction to address gifted students' learning levels. The process product dimension addresses gifted students' need for thinking at complex levels and emphasizes the creation of projects. The issues themes dimension structures learning around major themes with intra- and interdisciplinary connections. Both the depth and complexity model and integrated curriculum model structure learning around thematic units, which is effective for gifted students who make connections with knowledge faster and easier than their non-gifted peers. The depth and complexity model emphasizes individualization of the curriculum for each student to reflect the needs, learning abilities, and interests of individual gifted students, while the integrated curriculum model employs a diagnostic prescriptive approach to adjust instructional plans to meet the needs of individual students. With their focus on differentiation and personalization of learning for students, the depth and complexity model and integrated curriculum model dovetail nicely with Grand Island Public Schools' strategic plan priority of personalizing learning for each of our students. The models were also selected because they are research-based and their effectiveness has been evaluated through research studies. Both the depth and complexity model and the integrated curriculum model focus learning experiences around interdisciplinary concepts. The curriculum was developed around standards-based interdisciplinary thematic units of study. As per the integrated curriculum model, authentic, rigorous, formative, and summative assessments will be utilized to determine student mastery of content, and grade-level curriculum will be compacted and accelerated as necessary to address the learning levels of gifted learners. Kaplan's depth and complexity icons and content imperatives will be employed to help students think like disciplinarians and enhance their critical thinking skills. Students will have opportunities to demonstrate their learning through multiple formats of their choosing, and performance-based assessments and projects will be published or showcased. The curriculum is built around 4 conceptual themes: reality, truth, change, and relationships. The themes were chosen because they closely align with the content taught in the guaranteed and viable curriculum at each grade level, and also offer possibilities for broadening and extending gifted students' learning. The organization of the academy model requires some flexibility in student programming, as classes may contain students in various grades, and students may opt to take classes in other pathways as electives. For this reason, the 4 themes selected will be presented every year at the same time at every grade level, in order to provide the most effective way for all Academy students to maximize their learning through the interdisciplinary and thematic units of instruction. For each theme, generalizations and essential questions were developed to inspire higher order thinking and enable students to make connections within and across content areas. The year will start and end with prologue and epilogue units, which are focused on the theme of reality and the generalization that knowledge is acquired and used for the comprehension of reality. During the prologue unit, students will explore how reality is defined by what they know and how they think. When the reality theme is revisited in the epilogue unit, students will reflect on how their conception of reality changed throughout the year and how the changes will prepare them for the future. In Unit 1, centered around the theme of truth, students will grapple with the generalizations that truth must be discovered or created, and that truth is fluid and malleable as they seek to determine how we know what we know. Unit 2 has the theme of change and focuses on the generalizations that change is inevitable, conflict leads to change, and change causes more change. Throughout the unit, students will consider the essential question: what causes change, and what does change cause? The theme of relationships is for Unit 3, with the generalizations that everything is related in some way and relationships change over time. Students will discuss and debate the essential question: why are relationships inescapable? The scope and sequence chart provides more information on the proposed generalizations and essential questions. Student mastery of the conceptual themes will be assessed in a number of ways through authentic, rigorous, formative, and summative assessment. As a culminating task for each unit, students will gather artifacts from each of their subject area courses to serve as evidence of thematic learning. These thematic assessment artifacts must address the unit's essential questions. Students will collect these artifacts in a digital portfolio that will follow them throughout their time in their academy. Teams of academy teachers will review portfolios to assess student understanding of the thematic unit and use the data to drive instruction. Near the end of the school year, students will reflect on the artifacts they have been gathering in their portfolios throughout the year, synthesize knowledge gained in all of their subject areas, and create a product of their choosing to display their understanding of the 4 core themes. Students will present their products at an end-of-year showcase event for parents, siblings, relatives, friends, faculty, and community members. This web shows the interdisciplinary thematic base instructional plan for 1 unit for the Academy of Freshman Exploration. Unit 1 has the theme of truth, in which students will be challenged to think about the essential question: how do we know what we know? The web shows representative topics for each subject area that address the theme.